Today we are comparing two chairs for your everyday ideal desk setup. We're talking about the Flexispot C7 and the autonomous Ergochair Pro. If you were to ask me, I think the solid choice here would be... But hold on, why are we talking about chairs and why does this matter to you? For starters, you're right. We talk about everyday carry, so why are we all of a sudden talking about buckets for our behind? Well, on the journey to live with purpose, we need to take a look at what we spend the majority of our time doing and tailor our gear towards that. Now, I personally work from home, and like many of you, I spend a decent amount of time, honestly too much time, behind a desk in a chair. So inevitably, we need to talk about the desk setup. Whether that's in the studio editing videos or in a home office cranking out solid hours of work, your butt needs some love, and if left unattended to, could lead to a whole slew of problems later down the line. I'm talking about mobility, posture issues, even pain. I personally think I need all the help I can get. And so that begs the question, what chair do you get? Now, that's an interesting question, and I'll get into why in a little bit. I spent the last 4 years right here in front of you making videos, and at first I started with a whatever I could find chair, and then I upgraded to a gaming chair because the marketing on those things is on point. But now I think it's time to get serious with some premium office productivity chairs that's geared to make you comfortable and keep you in a good posture for the long haul. Now, I'm going to be comparing these two chairs across several categories, from installation and setup to build quality, pricing, and more. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be armed with enough knowledge to make the right call on which chair is best suited for you and your needs, or even some foundational knowledge on what to look for in an office productivity chair for your desk setup. It's important to note here that while Flexispot did send both the C7 and the Ergochair Pro for me to compare and review, I was not personally paid to make this video or to say anything specific about either chair. So rest assured, all the opinions expressed in this here video are my own. As an overview, both chairs are marketed as premium office chairs. Excellent ergonomics from head to toe, from the adjustable headrest, the backrest that's supposed to mimic your posture and give you support throughout the day, to the adjustable armrest, and of course, the butt cushion. Real padded, there's different types. There's a mesh one, there's a foam one. Everything is supposed to be solid and sturdy. The whole thing's on casters. To really get into the differences, into the unique features that separate these two chairs, let's dive into the different categories. First of which is installation. As far as both packages go, both chairs came in big, heavy cardboard boxes that were well padded, multiple cardboard layers inside. Each chair component was individually wrapped and protected, bubble wrap, the works. The hardware was kept in a separate box so that it doesn't scratch up the other components, and all the tools that you need to assemble these chairs were provided in the box. The only minor difference I noticed was that the Flexispot box was single boxed, whereas the Autonomous was double boxed. As far as installation and assembly goes, both chairs were relatively easy to put together. Each came with their own instructions that were legible. You could figure out what you needed to do at what steps. I made sure to use only the tools and hardware provided in the box for the sake of comparison. Here's where the game kind of changes a little bit. With the Autonomous installation, it took me about 10 minutes to put together. Relatively straightforward. Used the tool they gave me and installed it pretty easily. With the Flexispot chair, it took me twice the amount of time to put together, 20-25 minutes. And the reason being is this thing. This tool was the tool that was provided for me with the Autonomous kit. And as you can see, it's a pretty long tool and it has a nice little handle for you to be able to use and operate the tool easily. In the Flexispot kit, the only tool that was provided was an L wrench or an Allen wrench. The thing with that is that the chair has a lot of tight spaces, especially with the screws that screw into the bottom of the base and attaches the seat cushion onto the base. Sometimes you could only get in a half turn, maybe even a quarter turn at a time before you would run into a component of the chair, and you'd have to take the tool out, reposition it, and continue torquing it down. With this tool from the Autonomous kit, you just kept turning because they made sure that this tool cleared all the tight spaces of the base. I didn't think it was a huge problem because it doesn't pertain to the actual chair itself. It doesn't talk about the chair quality or anything like that. But as time went on and as I was just cranking away at the little Allen wrench trying to get this thing installed, I was getting visibly frustrated. Like, I didn't think I was gonna talk about it. I thought it would just be a minor issue to gloss over. But by the end of the installation, I was pissed. And honestly, I'm almost convinced that the two chairs came from the same manufacturer. All the parts were almost exactly the same, minus little differences in textures and finishes, and even the hardware layout, the way the hardware was encased in, plastic and paper, it all looked almost the same. The only other difference I noticed was that in the Flexispot kit, there were no washers that came with the bolts. The bolts had Loctite pre-applied to the threads. Whereas in the Autonomous kit, the hardware included a set of washers for all of the bolts during installation. As far as build quality goes, like I said, both chairs feel like they came from the same manufacturer. And so aside from a few minor differences in texture and feel, all the components feel sturdy, the soft parts are plush, there's foam cushions used in both, there's mesh used in both, and from a non-technical perspective, both chairs feel like how premium office chairs should feel. They feel nice to the touch, they feel nice when you sit in them, they respond properly when you lean back and put your hand on the armrest, all the things that you would come to expect from a premiumly priced office chair. Now that we've determined that build quality between these two chairs is almost exactly the same, let's talk about a few unique features that you can find in these two chairs. First and foremost, these two chairs are designed to uniquely be tailored to you because every piece and component is customizable. The tilt, the shift, everything will be tailored to your body type. With the Autonomous chair, it comes in 6 different colors, whereas the Flexispot only comes in the standard 2 black and gray. So if you're more inclined to color match your desk and chair together, the Autonomous has a few more options in that regard. Also, if I'm looking at the two chairs from an aesthetic perspective, I think the Autonomous is slightly more minimal and subtle than the Flexispot, but both chairs look almost exactly the same. For the Flexispot C7, there are a few features that stand apart from the Autonomous Ergochair Pro. First and foremost is the seat cushion. I've noticed that the foam cushion here is slightly thicker and plushier than the Autonomous seat cushion, so you get a little more bounce, and overall I think it's a little more comfortable as well. Another feature is that the lumbar support component of the Flexispot C7 is its own standalone component and is more pronounced than the lumbar support of the Autonomous Ergochair. I just feel like from personally sitting in the C7, the pronounced lumbar support piece provides just a little more support, and you feel that separation in your back as you sit in it. So you're very aware that the lumbar support is there, and it just feels good when you sit. Another unique feature of the C7 is that it offers both a mesh option and a foam option for your seat cushion. The foam feels really awesome, it's plush, it's responsive, it's thick, but the mesh option provides more ventilation and heat dissipation if you run hot. I chose to go with the foam cushion because A, I like the plush responsiveness of the foam cushion, and we're comparing this chair to the Ergochair Pro, which only comes with a foam butt cushion. So I wanted to make sure we compare apples to apples and to really tell you how the foam feels in both instances. By the way, the mesh backing is German made. As far as the user interface goes, there's a lot to control in these chairs. You can adjust everything from the headrest to the back tilt and tension, the armrest, the seat tilt. You can even shift the seat forward or backward depending on where you want it placed. So needless to say, there's a lot of things to control, and it's important to have a smooth and intuitive user interface so you can control all that stuff with ease. The way I tested this was just to see if I could figure out the controls without having to crack into the user manual, and I found that the Autonomous user interface, or the control cluster, was just a little bit more intuitive than the Flexispot. As for comfort and ergonomics, both chairs do as advertised. They're super comfortable and allow you to sit in a variety of postures to help you work, to help you relax, and really dial in your seating as you go about your day. The seat cushions, comfortable. I can't speak on the mesh cushions because I don't have one here to test, but on both chairs, the foam cushion is super plush, makes it feel real good when you sit down. I personally feel like the Flexispot C7's foam cushion is a little thicker and plushier, so it feels awesome to sit down on. We talked about this unique feature earlier in the video about the Flexispot C7, but I really enjoy the fact that the lumbar support on this unit is very pronounced and it's a separate piece independent of the rest of the back cushion. So when you lean back, you can really feel that lumbar piece push up and support your low back when you're leaning back. And it just feels really awesome to get that response, that tactile feel when you're leaning back. With the autonomous kit, it comes with a 2-year warranty for the entire chair. Now with the Flexispot C7, it depends. So depending on the component of the chair, the warranty ranges from 2 years to 10 years. So I understand why, and it's because some components wear at a different rate than others. Some are sourced from different places, so I get that. You'll have to dive deeper into the product page to really see what their policy is for that exact part. But long story short, it's a minimum of 2-year warranty, and it goes up to a 10-year warranty depending on which component of the chair you're looking to make a claim on. Both brands offer a 30-day risk-free refund policy. And of course, double check the product pages to make sure that you're looking at all of the fine print when looking deeper into the refund and warranty policies. And finally, price. The autonomous Ergochair Pro comes in at $500 US, while the Flexispot C7 at its cheapest configuration comes in at $330 US. If you opt for the black on black colorway, that's an additional $20, and if you opt for the mesh cushion instead of the foam cushion, that's another $20 on top of that. So at its most expensive configuration, it comes in at $370 US. Both brands offer free shipping, so you don't have to worry about that for your chair. We've compared the two chairs across a variety of categories. I hope that you're armed with the knowledge to make the right call for yourself to see which chair is right for you and best suited for your needs and purpose. If you were to ask me, I think the solid choice here would be the Flexispot C7. Now off the cuff, both chairs do the job well. The build quality is there, the aesthetics are there, the comfort is there. In terms of the ergonomics, the C7 has that pronounced lumbar support pad and the slightly plushier foam cushion that really makes it the pick for me in terms of ergonomics. And while there are a few features that I felt the autonomous chair did a better job on, like the more intuitive user interface and providing a proper tool for a smooth installation and assembly, it's really hard to ignore the fact that Flexispot put together a chair that matches the autonomous chair in build quality, comfort, ergonomics, and usage at 70% of the price. If you want to round out your research on either of these chairs, I'll be leaving links to both of them in the description below. That way you can hopefully make the right call on which chair is best suited for you in the office, at home, to live your purpose, to be productive, all that good stuff. No matter which chair you choose, make sure you stand up frequently, walk around, get the blood flowing, and take care of your body. Live with purpose, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.